Imagine, the best meal of the week travels everywhere, every day of the week. Okay, Colonel, hit the road.
The finger-licking good food chain has been feeding us scrumptious chicken for the last 68 years. That's a really long time. And you might be wondering, how have they managed to stick around for so long, and how did it start? How did one man manage to create one of the biggest fast food chains in the world? Well, in today's video, we're going to be telling you about the inspirational story behind KFC's success. But before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, as well as ding that notification bell so you never miss another update from us. Colonel Sanders' story. The guy whose face we see on the KFC logo is Colonel Harlan Sanders. Born in 1890 in Henryville, Indiana, Sanders was happily growing up on a farm until the ultimately timely death of his father when he was only 6. According to the New Yorker, the tragedy had left him taking care of his younger brother and sister while his mom was working hard, trying to provide for the family. This is where it all started. Sanders had to do all the cooking for his siblings, and with all the practicing, he was already a fair cook by the age of 7. When Sanders was 12, his mom decided to remarry, but unfortunately his stepfather didn't like him and his brother, so they were sent off to live somewhere else. His brother had to go live with an aunt, and Sanders had to move to another farm 80 miles away doing farm work. School was not something he was interested in, and so he decided to drop out in the 7th grade to start working full time. Now, this is not something you would expect from a 13-year-old boy, but those times were different back then. How did the franchise start? Life was not easy at all for Sanders. He was working really hard from an early age and working different jobs all the time, from doing hard manual labor, which he was fired from, to being a fireman and an insurance salesman. He operated a steamboat ferry that crossed the Ohio River between Kentucky and Indiana, and during his time in Corbin, Sanders even delivered babies. Quote, "There was nobody else to do it," Sanders said in his autobiography. The husbands couldn't afford a doctor when their wives were pregnant. He was struggling to hold on to a job, and his wife left him after he was caught cheating. He finished school and went on to study law, earning a law degree. It turns out that law wasn't really his thing when he got fired for being into a fight with one of his clients. Sanders then went on to work as a salesman in Kentucky for Michelin Tire. He ended up losing that job in 1924 when Michelin had to close their New Jersey manufacturing plant. Through this connection, the general manager of Standard Oil of Kentucky offered him the chance to run his own service station in Nicholasville, Kentucky. And as a result of the Great Depression, the station closed in 1930. Sanders was given a service station job in North Corbin, Kentucky, rent-free, in return for paying them a percentage of the profits. Here, he started serving fried chicken. Now, I don't know about you, but just thinking about it makes me hungry. Locals in Kentucky became regular visitors to the Sanders petrol station, and it wasn't for the petrol, but rather for the fried chicken. The governor of Kentucky awarded Sanders with the honorary title of colonel in 1936. Although he wasn't really a military colonel, if that's what you're thinking, he was just really good at frying chicken. Sanders also got mentioned in Duncan Hines' 1939 book, Adventures in Good Eating. Sanders quickly realized that people wanted the chicken more than the petrol. As an entrepreneur, he decided to convert the place into a 142-seat roadside restaurant and a motel. It was called Sanders Court and Cafe, the start of KFC. In 1952, the first restaurant going by the name Kentucky Fried Chicken opened in Salt Lake City. In 1957, the first KFC bucket meal was sold. In the 1960s, KFC popularized chicken in the fast food industry, diversifying the market by challenging the established dominance of the hamburger. Soon, the company had about 200 franchise restaurants, and in the next couple decades, more and more branches began opening across the country, then internationally. Only in 1991 did the name of KFC become official, although people had been using the term for many years as opposed to Kentucky Fried Chicken. The point of the name change, according to Kyle Craig, president of KFC in the US, was to steer clear from the unhealthy condition of the word fried. The chicken is still fried, guys, don't be fooled. Why did Colonel Sanders sell the business? Due to an overload of work, Sanders just couldn't keep up with it anymore. In 1964, Colonel Sanders sold his Kentucky Fried Chicken company for $2 million to investors. Of course, he still remained on the board because he sold the company on the Provo, and this means that he still got to do quality control, get paid an annual salary of $40,000, as well as appear in the adverts. Colonel Sanders died in June of 1980 at the age of 90, and up until his death, he still made appearances in his classic white suit and goatee. How much has KFC expanded? There is now 23,000 KFC branches across the world. And believe it or not, you can even order a KFC pizza. How cool is that? It also tastes surprisingly good. In 2019, Pizza Hut decided to collaborate with KFC and create the greatest pizza of all time. Together, they created the popcorn chicken pizza. Now, doesn't that sound like heaven on a plate? So, So, what makes this pizza so unique? For starters, it features KFC's iconic gravy on a large classic crust base, topped with mozzarella cheese and popcorn chicken and sprinkled with sweet corn. I don't know about you guys, but I know what I'm having for dinner. KFC is so popular in the world, especially in South Africa, where a couple recently got engaged. After the couple's proposal went viral, a load of folks came forward and said that they wanted to contribute to the wedding. KFC South Africa provided a wedding planner, Airlines Kulula and Mango offered to fly the couple to their honeymoon, and Uber, Lexus, and Audi all offer their services as far as transport goes. Who knew that fried chicken could spark such romance between two people? KFC was even nice enough to pay for the wedding. Not a bad idea if you got no money. Try it out and see if you can get engaged at your local KFC. Maybe they'll pay for the wedding too. In Japan, KFC is traditionally eaten on Christmas Day, as millions of Japanese families buy buckets of fried chicken from November to Christmas Day. People are so desperate that they even place their orders weeks in advance. On Christmas Day, people queue up at the front of KFC branches and await their delicious meals. Why exactly does this happen though? Well, believe it or not, it's actually from a marketing campaign in 1974, which translated into English as Kentucky for Christmas. Now that's some smart marketing on their part if I do say so myself. KFC doesn't just sell food. Wait, what? Did you know that KFC even sells Crocs? KFC Crocs are apparently super popular. You can buy a pair for $60. Even Kim Kardashian owns a pair, with it looking like the classic Croc, but KFC style with the classic KFC bucket design on the bottom, while the top does have a fried chicken print, complete with 2 removable chicken scented gibbets, which look exactly like chicken drumlets and are chicken scented. They're not edible if that's what you're thinking. KFC also has its own line called KFC Limited. They sell clothes, jewelry, home goods, and limited edition goods. They sell awesome socks, shoes, and shirts, and you can even buy a $20,000 Zinger meteorite, which is 400 years old. It's literally carved in the shape of a Zinger chicken sandwich. Cool, right? There's also a Colonel Sanders video game called Colonel Quest, with the aim of the game trying to collect as many chicken drumlets as possible. You do this by learning information about the Colonel's colorful life. Colonel Sanders is so popular in the world, there's even a comic book about him. It's called The Colonel's Adventure Comics, and it's all about his life and the discovery of his superpower, fried chicken. How much is KFC worth? According to Forbes, KFC is worth about $8.5 billion and sees $26.2 billion in sales. In 2019, KFC was placed in the 86th position on Forbes' list as the world's most valuable brands. That is very impressive for a business that started out as a petrol station. To date, KFC is the world's second largest fast food restaurant and one of the best known brands out there. What is the secret ingredient of KFC? People have been baffled for decades about KFC's secret recipe. Nobody seems to replicate it or even try to figure it out. We do know that there are 11 ingredients which are used. Sounds doable, but wait a second. What exactly are those 11 ingredients? In 2016, Colonel Sanders' nephew, Joe Ledington, claimed that he found a handwritten fried chicken recipe in an old scrapbook, and intriguingly, it contained all 11 herbs and spices: salt, thyme, basil, oregano, celery salt, black pepper, dried mustard, paprika, garlic salt, ground ginger, and white pepper. Could this be the actual recipe? During his lifetime, Sanders didn't trust anybody with a recipe. He wrote it on a piece of paper that he kept in his wallet. If you're wondering whatever happened to the recipe, it is safely locked away and guarded at the KFC headquarters in Louisville, Kentucky. Only a small fraction of people in the company even know the recipe. Nowadays, there's loads of people who claim that they've cracked the recipe, but the question is, will they be able to be as successful as KFC? Last of all, Colonel Sanders only became a professional chef at the age of 40 and didn't reach success until he was in his 60s. So, after he sold his company at the age of 75, did the company reach heightened success? This is good news for all of us because it means that you don't necessarily have to be the best chef on earth to make a big success of your food or product. So, that's it for today, folks. We hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give us a big thumbs up and comment down below what you think about KFC. Also, turn on post notifications so you never miss anything from us, and until next time, guys, we'll see you later.